Hey everybody, it's Thursday night. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. Tonight we're going to be doing some designing and some building and some talking. And Beth is not with me tonight. She is watching The Simpsons. So if you hear a little bit of Simpsons off in the background, we've got to get each other a better pair of headphones for Christmas because between Android and Apple plugs for phones, it doesn't work really well. So this is the only one I've got that has a jack in it, or a like the regular. Anyway, so welcome to the stream. Like I said, we're going to finish building, or I'm going to finish building where we left off with our Overwatch sets, our Eva and Reinhardt sets. I asked Beth; she said it'd be okay if I finished building this. And then we're going to talk about some COPPA or COPPA. We're going to talk some Star Wars. We're going to flip over to designing some. I don't know how much we'll get through, but let's finish building this and we'll get to talking about some stuff. Just making sure everything's going right here. Now, I do have... I'm going to check one thing real quick because... So, right off the bat, I may have said this... in posts online. Our community, our Lego building community, is in a bit of an uproar because there's a Child Online Protection Act, Child Online Privacy Protection Act that is threatening to either shut down a lot of channels that deal with gaming and toys and Lego, or basically remove all abilities to make a successful channel, monetize, advertise, whatever you want to call it. But basically, because Google/YouTube was fined heavily for violating this 1998 act, they've sort of shifted the onus onto the creators and said, you have to dictate whether your video is for kids or not for kids, intended to be viewed only by people under 13 or not. So what happened was a lot of people freaked out because the guidelines were very vague. There was like a 10-step thing where it's like, everybody go get a lawyer and go through each one of these 10 steps for each video that you put out. Does it have a child actor in it? Where is it like brightly colored? Was there music or scenarios that were specifically written for kids? That kind of stuff. I mean, it was just a whole litany of stuff. For the most part, I think everybody's going to be okay, because hi Rachel, hi Bethany. There are a couple really big channels that might have problems because they aren't specifically made for kids, but that's their livelihood. And the idea that anything could be appealing to a child, a video game, a toy, I feel like it's up to parents to kind of regulate their own kids. And I understand that this is a protection that was put in place and approved of by Congress in the late 90s, and I get that. But the idea that now this is impacting people trying to make a living, I'm not okay with that. But it also might be that things change before the first of the year. Now, this isn't going to take place till January 1st. And at that point, if you've categorized all your videos and everything that you've made and everything going forward as made for kids, what happens is you lose the ability to have comments on your video. I wouldn't be able to see live comments on here, so I wouldn't be able to talk to people. You lose any chance of advertising. You get a lot of the social stuff taken away, so no more communities. The community tab goes away. I mean, they really lock it down to the point where you're basically just making a video that just gets put out into the void and you have no idea how it impacts your community. And for people who kind of rely on feedback and rely on the community to help them make their content, it's going to really impact them. On the other side of the coin, if you don't market as for kids and the FTC comes along and says, no, this is for children. You violated this act, then you can be fined $40,000 a video. So the fact that I talk about beer and we talk about politics and we talk about adult themes, I don't think I'm going to have a problem with it. I don't think anyone's coming after me, but I do worry about some of these other channels that I subscribe to and I like, and some of them I may contribute to. I do worry about whether they're going to be able to, survive or not, and it's really kind of a sad state. And it's all just kind of up in flux too, because I think we're trying to get the FTC and YouTube to either change policies, adjust them so they're a little more clear, adjust phrases like made for kids or geared for kids or specifically designed, that kind of thing. So when there's people who are in a gray area, like this channel would be a gray area because I'm designing and playing with Lego, but it's not a kids channel. I'm not trying to get a kid audience. I'm not trying to get a youth audience. My audience is 15 and up, So anyway, that's where this stands. I might be trying to move away from YouTube. So if you are on Twitch or Mixer, please subscribe to those. If you're just dropping by, because I restream anyway, but I may be dropping the YouTube portion of the restream. I'm getting no views on anything anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But anyway, let's get to building. So we left off building, got that one done, that's Eva, and now we're working on Reinhardt. So again, this is the Karbach Brewing Company Hellfighter. It's a bourbon barrel aged imperial porter. And it is like Christmas booze in a bottle. It's like 11%, 11.8%. So one or two of these is really all you'll need. So while we're talking about stuff, I don't know how far along she got, but I think we're going to go right here. I'm going to stop there. All right. So I am a little scared about the whole thing, but again, my brother reminded me they're probably not going to come after you, which I don't think they're going to come after me at all, but I'm also not the target of this. That's the thing, we really don't know who the target is. But I'm reminded of back in the day when the RIAA went after people for having downloaded music. And that was a huge deal. And they didn't really go after a lot of people. In fact, the most recent court case was, I think, like maybe 10 years ago, maybe sooner than that. And it's the third time this one went to court, and she was fined some ridiculous amount. And she had downloaded a total of 24 songs. Not thousands, not 24,000, not 2,400, 24. She downloaded 24 songs. So the fact that was very small, and she got it off LimeWire too, which is one of those where it's like somebody just tells you, hey, you can get music if you go to LimeWire, and you go, okay, I'm gonna go check it out. You may not realize, Anyway, so where are we? We're building this. So I'm a little concerned, but I'm not overly concerned for myself anyway. And again, I'm trying to just promote this more on Twitch and Mixer and stuff like that, just so I can move over there. The other thing is there's another site called Cocoscope, which I might go start uploading to, but they don't have live streams, so I'd have to actually do short form videos of just maybe putting a couple things together once I get the parts for them, instead of putting them on YouTube or Facebook, But I like streaming. I like, forcing myself to do something twice a week. And I'm not going to put a sticker on that. And, hanging out with my people. I also might do a little more drawing because I've got to finish a drawing for Beth's brother and sister, but I also have to start my Christmas cards that I do every year. So I may work on that in the next couple streams and not really worry about Lego. Again, I have to order some parts for my Megacore magnetizer revamp, Futuron reskinning of that. And then I also want to get some more parts for some Microfighters so I can start putting more of those together. There's a guy in Europe who has been building a lot of them, and he's got more than I do built, and I don't want to be left behind, so. So I had a friend who told me that I do need to work on the video setup that I've got going on. I need to be in a enclosed space, maybe with a green screen drop behind me so I can just have my little floating head down there. No interruptions, just an hour and a half of just this. Nothing in the background, nothing behind me. Which I'm okay with. That's not, a bad thing really. The problem is I don't have a way to close this room off. If I wanted to do this, missing a piece. Or there's an extra piece I got left out. So I'm gonna go back through this. I don't have a way to close this room off. It's our front entryway. This is technically what's called a dining room, but it's art table and Lego room. I wouldn't have a way to put this into one of the guest rooms, move all this Lego in there. I don't think there'd be enough room, and we'd lose the guest room. So I'm not really, I see what she's saying, and I kind of want to do that so I can have like a studio. But this works pretty well. I just have to kind of make it very regular and word I'm looking for, stable. That's not the word I'm looking for. Anyway, more professional looking. I also don't know if it's a matter of just, being able to talk effectively and market effectively and get the word out and that kind of stuff. So we'll see. There's a couple guys who do this who they've had the channel up for like 6 years, and they're like, and I've gained 5 followers. It's like, all right. Well, this is interesting. There's a weird extra piece, but it wasn't ever used for anything. All right. Gonna go through it one more time to make sure. This is left over. We got us a 1x2 plate with a clip on the side, but I don't see where that was used. Sometimes you get 2 of them, or it kind of sneaks in, but something like this would have something else attached to it. And I'm just going through the parts list up here just to see if I see it, and then go back through the model. That would be a kind of a gimme part, because I mean it's not even used anywhere. So hopefully everyone's having a good week. It's kind of the last long week before Thanksgiving. If you're just joining us, let me know what you're doing on Thanksgiving. What's up, Carolyn? Did you go by Carolyn or Carol? Or C Money? Alright, well I guess that's an extra piece. Moving on. So now we're on bag 2. Put this back over here. There's Meredith. I was just talking about you, Mer. You gave me a bunch of great pointers, several of which I hope to be able to use at some point. I don't know how I'm going to use a green screen in here, but the problem I have giving up one of our guest rooms is until Greg's in college, one of those rooms is his room. When he comes over, he can go in there and study, or if he needs to spend the night, he can stay there. The other room is our guest room for when we have people come into town. So Yeah. Is it? Yeah, you can't chat on your TV, I don't think. Ooh, these are cool pieces. I like those. So, let's move on, shall we? So anyway, to move all this stuff into the guest room, I'd have to basically give up the guest room. Which means when, my parents come into town or Beth's parents come into town, we don't have a place for them to stay. And I think I'd rather just keep this on the lo-fi kind of version that I got, and then allow them to be able to stay here. That's a trade-off. Huh. Oh, there's a whole other thing. Okay, there's another bag here. Yeah, I could use something. I might be able to reorganize so I'm facing out and I have the wall to my back. And I can have the table kind of along where the carpet is out here, or the rug. That way I can have kind of a screen behind me, and I could put a partition so it's kind of walled off. That would be all right. I don't want to have to shuffle a lot of Lego storage all over the place. Because I've done that before in order to get it over to this house, and I am not looking forward to ever having to do that again. Hi, Laura. Happy Thursday to everybody who's showing up here. Got a different mix on the music tonight. We got a chill station instead of a chiptune station. Yeah, the interruptions I think aren't necessarily something that I count on. The few times that I have been interrupted have been like Greg comes over and he comes right in here, or we want to talk about the puppies, so we have the puppies jumping in and out. But that's kind of by choice. We know we're going to be able to do that. But the other night when you guys were all over here, that was kind of a one-off. I probably should have not done it that night. I probably should have just hung out with you guys instead. But Laura, we are making Overwatch sets. This is Diva and Reinhardt. And Diva has already been made. I did that one, and then Beth is was doing this one, but that was the last stream. So I'm finishing this up real quick, and then I'm going to get to designing some a Star Wars set in studio, because I'm kind of out of practice with doing the designing stuff. And I saw a couple things online today that made me want to get back into it. So come to find out, I'm going to switch gears here a little bit. There's a Greg Wilson sighting. I've been watching a channel, and I've mentioned this channel before, Eckhart's Ladder. They've been talking about something that's been going on in the Marvel Comics world as it relates to Star Wars. What's up, Monica? Apparently, there's a large fan base, there's a large fan art community that designs ships. And it may be ships that are already out there, and they're just kind of giving them their own fresh spin on it. Or they've only been mentioned in books or kind of sketchy, views in a comic or something like that. And so these artists will take a swipe at making it, in a 3D program of some kind, Sketchfab or what have you. But what's been happening is in recent Marvel comic books for Star Wars, a lot of these fan renders have been showing up basically as is, or the designs themselves have been kind of ripped off, and they've just kind of used the designs without any credits or anything like that. Not as cool as Castles, yes. I don't know if you saw, Laura, I've got some Facebook, I think I put them on Facebook, some of the pictures from Brick Fiesta. There was a guy, and he just had a video put up from Brick Builder or Brick Vaults, and it was just this amazing castle, but it was like surrounded by like this big wooded area and like a swamp in front of it. It was so great. So we all took our little sig figs and got pictures in front of it. It was very cool. Anyway, so there's a lot of this kind of art theft going on, and it reminds me of the days of comic books when I was trying to get into comic books, and I was noticing as I was reading more and more of them, a lot of them were doing photorealistic kind of light boxing. Yeah, I'll send you a link. I'll send you a link of that castle, Laura. And I got really bent out of shape. And you come to find out that there was one guy specifically, and I don't remember his name now. I think it was Greg Land. But that may not be it. Come to find out he was taking a lot of photos himself and then using those photos as reference. Now, I'm kind of okay with that. But I'm still kind of like, well, why don't you're just taking photos, and then you could put that into a rendering program of some kind and spit out the art that you needed. You're not really constructing anything new. You're setting the scene, and that's great. But I kind of feel like, whether you feel that way or not, I felt like it was a little bit of cheating. That's up to interpretation. A lot of people don't. They're like, they're still doing all the creative work. So, but the idea that there's all these designers for, see, this is going to have a whole lot of stickers on it, and I just don't want to put any stickers on this. So, you know what? F that. The fact that these guys are getting their art stolen without, and not even paid for, not like they give them a bunch of money and then they were able to use their work. It's just that they give them no credit. Like, these designs were by, such and such, like a little appendix in the back saying this image sourced from this artist or something like that. Or, they were approached and they said, yeah, go ahead, use it, just as long as we get credit. And in a lot of cases, their sites are already chock full of those messages. Feel free to use this. It's not my intellectual property because it's Disney or Lucasfilm. But as long as I get credit for this specific design, I don't care. And even thumbnails on my channel, even if I just find a thumbnail of an image that I'm just using or an image that I'm using as a thumbnail, I go find the artist and say, can I use this on my channel? And if they say no, I don't use it. In a lot of cases, a lot of the artwork that I find is really old. So it's hard to find the artist, or the artist doesn't check the page where I found it anymore. So I kind of have to just go, well, this image was brought to you, was from such and such. And if they say something, then I'll be like, okay, I'll take it down or I'll change it. But always ask, man. At least ask. And I think that's what the deal was with these Marvel comics, is nobody was being asked. And it's kind of, there was one book that they went through, is the most recent Star Wars Allegiances or something like that. Yeah, the least they could do, exactly. And like every capital ship drawn in the comic book in this one issue was sourced from a fan art site. Like, none of them were their own like designs or anything. So it's kind of a bummer. So that, on top of the COPPA stuff, is kind of a weird week to be any kind of creator. So now I worry too that the 2020 sets just came out for Lego, and there's a couple sets on there that are they got a couple new Microfighter sets. They've got a Resistance Y-Wing, they've got a Bantha and a T-16, and then Kylo's shuttle, his Epsilon-class shuttle, or his Upsilon-class shuttle, excuse me. And I'm like, oh, they're still doing, this was, a lot of people were like, they're never going to do any Microfighters after this series that ended like 5 years ago or something like that. But they're still doing them, and so now I think, I'm not worried at all, really, but there's a few designers out there that are kind of like, I think, keeping an eye on their stuff. Like, I hope my stuff doesn't ever get used. Or, doesn't get ripped off. And I don't think Lego will do that. But, if Marvel and Marvel/Disney are doing it, it's just a little frustrating. So yeah, once this is done, which should be just a couple minutes, we'll switch over to Studio. So the ship that I'm going to be working on tonight is called I don't even know how to say this word, Braha'tok-class gunship, or a Dornian gunship. Now, this was a ship that it's not like really rare. It's not like one of those where you've only seen it in a video game or something like that. Or not even, like mentioned in a source book for a role-playing game or something. There's actual images of this, and they've appeared in movies and TV shows. They were in Rebels. They were in Return of the Jedi officially, because you can kind of see them in the background. But it's one of those where nobody really, average fan even sees it and goes, that looks like it was kit bashed from a Battlestar Galactica set. And it may have been, I'm sure a lot of the same ship designers worked in the studios that did both shows. Sometimes they have equal appearances that kind of look similar. A lot of the civilian ships in Battlestar Galactica look like something that could have been in Star Wars. Alright, no stickers on this, so we're just going to have to deal. Although, that's kind of cool. Yeah, having stickers up there. Oh yeah, so Meredith, have you seen the Clone Wars already? Have you already watched all 6 current seasons? Because I just rewatched the movie. Because I'm going to start rewatching the Clone Wars as well. And I want to watch it in this is the timeline order versus the airing order, and see if that makes a difference. I'm sure it won't really matter, but we'll see. That movie, you and I saw that movie together, and I just remember thinking that what a weird introduction to that whole world that movie was. I rewatched it and I'm like, okay, it's not as bad as I remember, because I remember walking out of there going, this was just a stinker. But it wasn't as bad as I remembered. I think because I was used to the cartoon now, so, before that, the last thing we had was the remastered versions a couple years before that, so it's like, that's all we really had. Or, and the prequels and stuff, but yeah, I watched it again. I'm like, okay, this is all right. I still don't like the fact that she calls him Sky Guy and R2-y and yeah, Cartman the Hutt. What's that guy's name? Leslie Jordan. He sounds like Leslie Jordan as a Hutt. Yeah, that movie was just weird, but it had a lot of good spaceships, and it had the acting in it was. Or the voice acting was pretty good. I like Matt Rayner, or whatever his name is, as Anakin. And to be honest, the Clone Wars Anakin to me is the epitome of Anakin. I really liked him, and they got his voice for Battlefront, for the Anakin in Battlefront, which I was very happy with. And also, what's his name? James Arnold. Oh god, somebody look that up. The guy who plays Obi-Wan. He's got the best Obi-Wan voice. And I love the description he gave at one point. He was being interviewed, and he's like, it's a difficult voice to come up with, because he's basically doing a Ewan McGregor voice as Ewan McGregor being Alec Guinness. So it was a very kind of layered voice that he had to do. Yeah, I think the timeline order is pretty easy to find, but if you've got that, send it to me. I would like to watch it in that order, because I've already seen the whole series a couple times, so I'd like to watch it in a different order, see what shakes out. And then, of course, I'll probably rewatch Rebels, but I don't think that's as necessary. You know what I'm upset about is the fact that Disney Plus is out and I can't watch Star Wars Resistance new seasons. Like, it's a Disney show. I don't understand what the holdup is. They're like, yeah, you can watch the first season, but not the current second season. So I gotta wait till it's over. Which I think is supposed to end like right before Rise of Skywalker. So interesting. Oh yeah, he's got this massive hammer. Can barely hold together. Haha. I am complete. I don't think they have a contract with Netflix. I mean, you can only see Star Wars Resistance on Disney XD. So I don't know why they aren't airing it as it comes out, because it's a weekly show. And I was able to use a friend's, hey, what the hops? What's going on? Thanks for coming by. Off a Mixer. They, as far as I know, it doesn't air anywhere else. I was saying I was using a friend's login, cable login, to be able to watch it, so I could log into Disney XD's site and then say, yeah, this is my cable provider, and then I would just do that. But all right, so I don't know why he has that. This is a great. I'm going to switch this. This is a very Sauron helmet. I love it. Like if you had a black head back here, it'd be very Sauron. I wonder if that's the same mold. All right, so we're putting him in here. Boom. Oh, wait. Haha. That goes up. That goes down. Ta-da! All right. So there we go. That is Reinhardt. This is what we're building right now. Reinhardt and Diva. So this is from Overwatch, a game I don't play. But I got these sets so Beth and I could have something to work on in tandem. So she just started late the other day and wasn't able to finish up. So I finished work. All right. So that's done. Blizzard sticker. Blizzard, and then all these other things. So we're going to keep that. Put that away. And these are the extra pieces / hair. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to keep the extra pieces over here. Hi, Alyssa. Oh my God, really?
Sorry.
Uh-huh. All right, so I'm going to move the computer a little closer. Because now we're going to go over to, not that. We're going to do a scene, and we're going to go to here, and we're going to do studio. So this is the ship that I'm going to be doing next. This is called a Braha'tok gunship, otherwise known as a Dornian gunship. Fair and higher? What is this nonsense? What's up, man? Fair and higher on Facebook. Farron used to go to like late middle school through high school with me. And then he went to the Air Force, and I lost track of him. Lost track of most of the people from high school, honestly. So, all right, so this is a Dornian gunship. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit of kind of if they've got. This is a scene from Rogue One, There's a Dornian gunship. I think that's another one. No, that one right there. It is also in Rebels. You can see it right here and right there. So, I mean, it's been on screen. You know, here's another shot from, I think, Rogue One. So I don't know what a Dornian looks like. I think they are just humanoid. So I may have to just make up a minifigure of some kind to... Yeah. It's not going to have any images of them. So let's make up something, shall we? I don't, you know, this is from Star Trek. I don't know. I'm mixing properties here. So anyway, what we can do is we can just do a... Hey, do they want to come in here and say hi?
Maybe.
I mean, they're not shutting up.
I don't want to because I look rough, but I can let them in.
I apologize for this. The dogs just will not shut up, and I don't have a studio to be quiet in.
Are you blaming me for
No,
that?
I'm talking to Meredith.
Oh.
So anyway, no, wrong Dorn, Tucker.
You want me to put her in the crate?
Or outside, or give her a bone to chew on. Sorry for the interruption. So I don't really have a minifigure to build off of, so we'll just have to make something up. I think I saw something where they just they were very much, I don't want to say like Earth Naval Admiralty, because I think that's somebody else. I think that's Hapian. So we're just going to get... we're just going to get some stuff and put it on here and then kind of not worry about it. I just need a body for it to sit in here. Leg right. Hey, Meredith. Are you going to get tickets to see... the it's a Fathom event, but it's put on by I think it's Screen Rant, or no, it's the Honest Trailers guys, and they're doing a documentary about Galaxy Quest, and it's called Never Surrender. Dornian. So you can't see it, but Tucker's saying that, aren't they the ones who lived in the Spanish-looking area? The royal family is the Martells, sort of. So we could do a mix. They could be alien heads and then have like Spanish Armada-looking uniforms. Let's just roll with that. Hips. This figure's going to have hips, and it won't lie. Yeah, so it's happening soon. If it hasn't happened already, I think maybe mid-December. If you go to Honest Trailers, the people who do Honest Trailers, which I think it's not Screen Rant, but I can't remember the YouTube channel that does that. Yeah, they're doing a documentary about the fan. What is it? That's what I'm looking for. The mystique behind this show and the fact that it got such a big fan base, and it looks great. Torso captain. Let's see what comes up. Yes. All right. So it's going to be a captain. We'll color all this black. Yes, and we'll color the hips white. Yeah, it's been on all their videos. Like every time they do a live broadcast or they do Honest Trailer or an Honest Video Game or something like that, they've got it at the end cards. They've got them. Thank you for whatever you did, Beth. I said thank you for whatever you did to quiet her down. Oh. I'm not even going to get to the ship before I get this done. No, we got time. Got like an hour. Alright, so now I need an alien head, but an alien head that I can put a hat on. Oh, you know what? Nope. Hondo has a great head. The pirate. I wonder if he's in here. No, these are all just helmets. I need like an alien head, but something I can put a hat on. What is this guy? Jawa. Ooh, you know what? Let's just do that. And we're going to do dark gray. We're going to do hand. You know what I want to play in the background here is the Tron Legacy soundtrack. Oh, is he really? Yeah, he's my super, like, I think out of the Clone Wars characters that were introduced, I mean, Ahsoka's great, but I just loved Hondo so much. He was such a stereotype, but in like a really, really awesome way. Hey, your mom's on. Do you want to come say hi to your mom?
Hi, Mom.
All right, we need a plume. Can we get a plume? Oh, that's not going to fit. This will make it seem alienish. Oh, that doesn't fit. Alien pirate guy. There we go. No idea, right? And since his vest is green, let's make the hat green. Look at that. Make those white. All right. Dornian, who cares, right? So, if we look at the ship itself, and you can kind of see what I was talking about. It does look a bit kit bashed. It does look like a bunch of stuff was thrown together to make this. Like, especially this image. This looks like it's from Battlestar Galactica. I wouldn't have put this in a Star Wars universe at all. But I mean, there it is, doing something. There it is, exploding. All right, so my guess is we'll probably end up putting... Oh, this is a pretty good view of it. I don't like that front end, though. We'll probably end up putting the figure, like, right here. That's a good section to put that in. I'm going to have to get rid of that little cool-looking vent thing, but... So let's see. Anything speak out to the pieces that we can use? Anything specific look good for, like, piece usage? Curved wedge. Something in here. That front end looks like... No, it needs to be more of a semicircle. Round plate. Like this. Is that too big? Ah. Nobody wants to see that. I think that may be a little big. That might work. I need to get a lot of details on here, so. And then what we can do is double it. And make one of them red. Oh, really? They don't come in light bluish gray? Do they come in light gray? Dark bluish gray. Well, maybe the whole model has to be dark bluish gray then. Let's do that for that one. And this one we're going to make red. It doesn't come in red. Well, that's just dumb. Alright, well those come in the right color. So we're going to have to figure out... Because what I wanted to do was color both of these red. So it'll give us this stripe, right? And then cover it again with slightly smaller ones. Like maybe this. As long as that comes in a color, okay, good. And then 1x1 tile. Does it come in dark gray? It does. Look at that. And then I can put something to tie the back end in here because I'm going to have to hold these together. What do I want to do there? Same thing? Maybe. This sounds like Metroid. A little bit. Yeah, I like that. That looks good. In light of having a nice sort of broad... let's see if I can move this back without losing everything. Sit back a little bit. Nice. All right. Adjusting. Because I'm leaning forward and my back was hurting. Alright, so he's going to be sitting back away, so we'll move him to like here. And then I have no idea what like the underside of this looks like. That might be a it's a little helpful. So I'm guessing this is the top and that's the bottom. So the bottom is very nondescript. So that's good. We won't have to worry about any detail until we get back here. So that means I can do, yeah, I can put just a long 2x8 plate. Right there. And the next thing is going to have to be like, where'd my really good one go? These little guys right here, or maybe this kind of scaling back a little bit. Sometimes I get stymied into my own indecision. Like, I have 5 good ideas at once. I'm like, just make a decision. Michael Rollman! Y'all, I think my dad's on here. What's up, man? I hope you're doing well. I kind of like that without these. Yeah, I like that a lot. And then I can put a 1x2 plate. Sign. I wonder if I should do, yeah, that's good. Oh, come on, I know that's on there. That's the problem with Facebook sometimes, is you see their names pop up, but it's just like they click on it and go, yeah, all right. I knew it was in there. Make me second guess myself. Go even lower than that. Oh, I don't want to do that. This all needs to be dark gray. These aren't going to come in dark gray, are they? Nope. Mm. Well, I really like those signs, but maybe we have to do something else. Well, you know what? Let's leave it for now. Come back to it. Alright, so now I need to make these intake vents or whatever, because this is a gunship, so these aren't huge ships. They're not like Star Destroyers. They're like Corellian Corvette size, maybe a little smaller. It's got a bunch of dangly bits on the bottom of it too, like these things, these little hooks. Don't know what I'm going to do when I get there. Let's break this guy up, because I need to raise his arms up. What? No. Come on, man. Ugh. Ugh. Alright, good enough. I may have painted myself into a corner with this, but I like him sitting there, but and see, I think this even goes to, like, somebody probably did this. Then this goes back to us talking about the art theft earlier, but this looks like it was rendered by somebody, and then this looks like it was sketch fabbed by somebody, like the exact same model, and they just, like, cartoonified it. Like, I would have to research this to find out, but I bet those are two different people who posted that. Ooh, that's a good model right there. Oh man, it has a thing in the front? That's such a great view. Yeah, I almost kind of want to put... I don't know which one to do now. Because, I mean, it is a gunship, so I'd rather have a couple little turrets up front here. Which would be easy enough to put under here. How much farther back do we go from here? Like 6? It's really long now. And sometimes you just look for inspiration. I didn't know these existed. $0.19. Pretty expensive part. Let's do 2 brick stud. Yeah, much cheaper. Alright, this is, I think, too chill. So let's go back to chiptune. I'm falling asleep on that one. So I need something that looks like an intake that's maybe it doesn't have to be an intake. And it also doesn't have to be just one, it could be 2. You know what would work? Because look at them little things in the front right there. And I can put it up here like that. That's only hanging on by 1 stud there, so. Which means I could do 2x4 plates. Because I think these can also come in. Yeah. Bye, Meredith. Thank you for coming by and saying hi. I'll see you next time. We'll be back Sunday night. What's up, James? Beth, James is on.
James.
Your old James.
My old James. Hi, James.
Beth says hi. As you can see, I'm designing a Star Wars ship. What was that?
I said, is he actually on or?
I just see that his name is on here. Hello, E-Jewel. You wouldn't happen to be related to D-Jewel, would you? I know a person named D-Jewel, and I'm just curious. And Matt Tong just appeared. A wild Matt Tong has appeared. Alright, so we're in the area where I need to start making choices about engines. And I need this to be small. So we'll have one thing of greebling here for this. And then we'll have a wing section, probably the last two, and then we'll have some pokey-outy engines. Oh, it looks like it's got two sets of wings. Man, this may go a little farther back than I wanted. Get a couple more of these guys in here. I think it's just the three engines, isn't it? As far as I can tell, it's just three engines. Alright, fair enough. Oh, there's a good picture of it. Well, just two. Huh. Alright, so we need to have some little bitty wings coming out of the top here. And I know exactly what I'm going to do with those. I think what I'll just do is do oh, I need. Let's take off one of these for greebling, since he's kind of sitting where the rest of that should be. And we'll do one by one clip. And then it needs to be raised up a little bit, so we're going to do one by 6 plate mod, because I think there's like rounded. Is it called a Technic plate? Yeah. Coming black? They come in dark gray? No. Alright, well, that's worth a shot. Thought it might look cool. Oh, I need something that's a little... Well, might as well build this up in the back. So let's just do a 2x4 plate. One by 8 plates. Oh, caps lock. Nope. God, if this is just straight off of Metroid, I don't know what is. No, way too big. No, maybe it's not. What's with my caps lock, man? Oh, of course. There's a Richard Nelson sighting. Hello there. Thanks for coming by. Just designing some Lego. kind of got the tail end of it here. We got about 15 minutes. Get away with rotating that at all. No. Is it that big of a dish? It certainly is. It certainly looks like it. So this is a trick I learned in the for the Imperial Patrol ship. These served as neat little stabilizers. Perfect. I just need to figure out how to make that it's an actual giant effing radar dish. Nope. I keep reopening that. Under here I need to get some sort of hooks. Can't really tell where they are. I think they're behind the engine. Be great if they were the other way. Ugh. Alright, sacrifices are going to be made. Alright, what are your available colors? Alright, so that's a bit of a cheat. But I think it's going to work. And I think this is where we're going to leave it for today. Yeah, that's good. I know it's a bit of a cheat, but I'm guessing if you actually put this in there, it would probably work out pretty well. So I'm happy with it so far. Especially my Dornish commander, man. I mean, for not knowing what they look like, look pretty good. So yeah, a couple minutes early, but I'm kind of tired, and I'd like to go get some rest before, or go to bed so I can get some rest. The last like 15 minutes, I realized I was probably just in a zone and not really talking, but I appreciate everybody coming by. If you stopped by to say hello, I hope everything works out with the COPPA rulings for everybody else who's got like a major channel and everything works out for them. I'm excited for Thanksgiving coming up. I can watch some Mandalorian with my kid. That'll be fun. I'm excited for a lot more stuff to come in the next couple weeks. So we'll be back here on Sunday. Maybe we'll be building. Maybe we'll be designing. We don't know yet. So thanks for coming by, and you guys take care and have a good